suppressing weeds, but it's also hopefully going to bring a bit more nutrition back to the soil here. So I've got the grape, which is actually bought from local Bunnings. There's self-sown potato, and that's actually a self-sown nectarine, I think. So we've got the bolted, I think that was silver beet. And then we've got bolted lettuce around the front there. All the corn here is saved from a corn cob from last year, but it turns out it was a hybrid. So as to what the quality of these corn is, or these corn, as to what the quality of the corn will be, I don't know. It's been said that it's probably going to be a bit more starchy, but we should be able to make something of it. You can possibly see in the background there a whole bunch more self-sown potatoes. I don't tend to sow seed potatoes. Oops. I just, which is the scraps that we get from the potatoes that we have tend to grow on, so I just let them do that. That's another grape vine bought from Bunnings. This one's a red, purple red. The other one was green. That is my butternut pumpkin, or I believe some people call it a squash, but in Australia it's a pumpkin. And we have the poor looking cabbages. I also topped up this whole bed along here, which has, again, this is all self-saved fruit from stones and things. So I believe this one's nectarine, and this one I found out recently was actually apricot. I thought it was peach, but it turned out it was apricot, so my son and I had some fruit from that. And then we've got, again, another nectarine, and then over there, a little bit blurry, that's my gooseberry bush, which was from Bunnings as well, and then a self-saved nectarine. And then here it's watermelon, I believe, hopefully growing there. These little bits here, which are looking fairly poorly, are actually cuttings from the apricot tree because it had grown up and was touching that cable there. So I thought, well, I'll cut those branches down and I'll just trim bits off it, and if I can have them grow on, that would be nice. That very poorly looking strawberry is actually from a plant pot from a bit further around, which I put it in there a few years ago, and it managed to actually grow, and it actually produced the runner that I used to grow this one, which is also looking a bit rough, but that's because I've recently transplanted it. That one may well die, but I'll let it go and see if it comes good. It may or may not. These are now mostly empty. That one's actually got a bunch of the remains of my Christmas tree in it, because I love the smell of pine, so I'll get a new natural one each year. I'm expanding this to be 3 bays because I can access a whole lot of horse manure, and I'd like to actually have a lot of that to actually continue to rot over a number of months, rather than how I've been using it in my impatient way and basically just putting it on garden beds and things. So I'll see how that goes. We've got the Bunnings bought apple tree, which is looking a little rough, but hopefully it's all right. We'll see how it goes. Cornflowers in the greenhouse garden bed. Obviously I need to tidy that up, but yeah, oh well. More self-saved nectarines, so those will come along. I did buy myself a raspberry cane, so hopefully that'll grow well. And then we have the greenhouse. So again, the experiment, these again are the self-saved corn from last year's, and as you can see, it's starting to get the top there. There aren't any cobs growing yet, but that'll probably still keep going. These seem to be a lot thinner, but I think part of the problem here is actually that if you look at the side of here, you can possibly see, well, it's a bit hard, but it hasn't actually got soil going fully all the way down. So I suspect part of the issue there is nutrient levels down there, but that's okay. You can see again, I've got self-sown potatoes because they would have been in the compost that got mixed in with all this. Lettuce, which I basically just scattered here to grow in amongst the rest because it's fine. Pineapple, I don't know if that's actually taken there, but it seems to be fairly firmly in there, and there's no loss. I actually bought those on the slight chance that they might grow, and also because I love pineapples anyway, so why not? These again looking very sorry. These are some more of the tips of the apricot tree. I'm seeing if they'll take. These are kiwi fruit that are actually saved from seed, so hopefully they'll grow on. They've actually been in a propagator. I left them far too long, so they probably won't go overly well, but if they grow more, it'd be nice. And you need 2 of those, of course, because You need a male and female. So as to whether they're going to end up as male or female, I don't know. So I'll just have to grow them and see what happens. My labelling is horrible. That probably is an orange. That may be a carnation. I'm not entirely sure. And that's probably another orange. If I'm lucky, actually, there'll be a capsicum in here, or some people call them peppers. I think our capsicums are sweet peppers. I have not had much luck with those, so I'm hoping, but we'll see. This one actually, no, well, that's clearly not watermelon. But on the other side, pink lady apple. Actually, these have started to come good. They were looking very dry and withered, but that's actually some new growth, I think. So hopefully they'll do all right. Now, I know that with apples, apparently they don't grow to type from seed, which is fine. A lot of people say you can't do it because they'll be horrible. Some people say they're tart. I don't mind tart. I actually like sour fruit. In fact, my wife laughs about the fact that I like to eat stone fruit when it's still quite sour. But yeah, that's my preference. I think that one may be a tomato, hopefully, because the one I've got in the veggie patch is being a bit slow to grow anywhere. To be honest, I'm not sure. I know that says capsicum. It may be, it may not be. Not really sure. Actually, oops, just mark that up. That, I think, actually is a capsicum, because I don't think there's anything else in there. So hopefully it is, but we'll get back to that at some other point and see how it's going. I clearly leave things in my propagators a bit too long. They'll need to be moved out. But anyway, orange, I'm pretty sure that's looking quite healthy, which is nice. Some more apple seeds, again, saved from seeds from store-bought apples. This is a bit of rosemary that was left over as I was moving some of my previously made stick raised garden beds. It was actually under it and had a bit of green to it, so I thought, well, I might as well put it in a pot. I probably left too many of the leaves on. It's probably not going to go anywhere. It may already be completely dead, even down to the ground, but there's no loss. I've got the space here to put it in, so why not leave it? This is why I think that other one might be carnation, because I've got this labelled as that, but as you've seen with my other labels, as to whether that's accurate, I don't know. Another apple seed. As to where I'm going to plant all these, I have no idea, but we'll see how they go. More orange seeds, apparently, but it may not be. That's actually a flower seed. I can't remember what sort, but if I come down here... Oh, that might actually be carnation, in which case the other ones might not be carnations. They're probably something... Actually, it feels quite warm. Again, these are just lettuce, because I had a whole bunch of seeds left over. I thought, yeah, I'll scatter them. Okay, coming along here, we have the broccoli, which is clearly bolted. I do love the big leaves on them, though, so I don't mind those sitting there. And these are my carrots, which are actually doing okay. You can see here, they're quite small at the moment. I'm going to keep letting them grow on. And then I want to top this up. As you can see, my impatience got me to put some of the compost in here to try and bulk it up a bit. That actually is from apricot seeds. I had some apricots recently. I opened the seeds, or the stones I should say, broke them open with a couple of bricks, and then took the seed from inside and put it in there just to see if that'll take. And another one there, a bit fuzzy, but there you go. And some croc's egg plums, because I really like those. It'd be nice if they actually grow. That I think is actually a kiwi fruit, because again I moved those out of the propagators. More broccoli here, excuse me. Sorry, quick movement there. Watermelon, and as you can see here, that's clearly a watermelon because it's actually got the seed still on it, which I like because it makes it a lot easier to identify. And then I've got some various, I think, flowers and things that I've transplanted across. Again, didn't label very well. That's, yeah, familiar problem. More self-sown potato, because that just happens. This is basil from store-bought basil, obviously. I quite like that. It's obviously going to see, it's bolting a bit now, or going to seed, whichever, basically the same thing. I don't mind that. I'm quite happy to actually let that continue there. And this is actually store-bought parsley. Both of these are in pots that I then separated and grew them onto there. So that's basically where we're up to now. And this is also, I assume this is a bramble or blackberry or something like that. This actually grows in the neighbourhood. It was growing into the veggie patch, so I thought, look, I'll take some out. You can see I'm not really looking after it much. That's very dry soil. I haven't watered it, but it seems to be growing anyway. I'm growing it on the hope that maybe it'll produce some fruit, but having looked into what berries things do in terms of when they fruit, it might actually take a year or two before it gives any indication of that, and I'd hate to think of how big and ungainly it's going to get in that time. But anyway, that's where we're up to now. So hopefully we get a bit of rain tonight. It's supposed to be a thunderstorm. We'll see what happens. But anyway, oops. Thanks for watching and good growing.